Hey, friends and family. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. I just kind of wanted to jump on here real quick and share a little bit what the Lord has been dropping in my spirit about all the stuff going on. While absolutely we can refer stuff back to the Old Testament, um, and surely God, does not change, okay? He may change how he deals with us according to Jesus in the New Testament, but God does not change. And so, but I want to point to something that God has been sharing with me. Because, when we see all this turmoil and all this chaos, we should always go to the word for it. It spells it out prophetically in the New Testament, Matthew 24. The disciples ask Jesus, "When are you coming back? What will these things be? What will be the sign of your coming and at the end of the age?" And Jesus said, "Take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be there will be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my sake. And then many will be offended and will betray one another and will hate one another. Many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, the King James Version says wickedness, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. And so I just want to touch base on a couple things. We are always going to have wars, okay? And rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, because these things must come to pass, okay? Jesus prophetically spoke to what we are going through, okay, and what we have been going through. And what the difference is that it keeps increasing as we see the day approaching, okay? The Great Tribulation, okay, is talking about the abomination of desolation, okay? And Jesus is talking about how bad it's going to be when that happens, okay? And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. And so, but and then it says, the generation that sees that happening will see the coming of the Lord. Okay, right now we're not really seeing the abomination. Okay, of desolation, and so I firmly believe, with God dropping these things into my spirit in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that we will go through things, and they will be increasingly, okay, until he does come. But we have to understand, we have to refer back to the word, okay? Because there are so many voices out there, so many voices of people saying this and people saying that. And always, always, always go to the word, okay? So if we go and we look over Matthew 24, we'll see that we're directly into that, okay? We are directly watching wars, rumors of wars, nation rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There's going to be famines, pestilence, earthquakes. All these things are the beginning of sorrows, okay? That is where I feel like God is speaking on what is going on right now, okay? And we got to understand that the word says these things must come to pass. So we are going to see them. It's going to happen. Okay. Over the summer, God had told me about Reformation, and I did a couple of videos on that, and talking about God doing reforming some things, talking about how there was a Pew Research study done, and this last one was like the largest percentage ever that they had ever done, that there were less people claiming to be of religion and being a Christian. And so, I firmly believe that God definitely intervenes. The Bible says that God intervenes in man's doings, in the plans of man. And so restoring hearts back to him, cleaning up some things, that's all part of Reformation, setting things in order, just like they did in the last Reformation, where there was a Catholic part of the Christian religion wanting to not get the Bible out there for people and stuff. And so, God jumped in there and took care of things. And there was a couple people that lost their lives, over that. And obviously we know that sometimes when you're really doing the Lord's work, sometimes it's going to cost you something. Hence the disciples. And so, but anyway, that Reformation, got everything going the right way again. And so that's what God, I believe, was doing with this Reformation, is getting things right again, getting all these hearts turned back to him, cleaning up some stuff. But I just really wanted to give some comfort with this video. I just wanted to give some comfort because we all know nothing catches God off guard. Nothing, okay? He is not up there wringing his hands going, what do I do next? What's going on? Nothing. Jesus already prophetically said what we would endure until the time of his coming, okay? So definitely the beginning of sorrows, and we actually could be in the beginning of sorrows for a time. Jesus doesn't really say anything about a time limit except for when the abomination thing happens, and then he says the generation that sees all of that happening will be the generation that will see Jesus coming, and we may be approaching it, but for now, I firmly believe we're in the beginning of sorrows, and possibly have been in it for some time, but it's ever increasing, okay? Especially with the wickedness and the loss of love, okay? Especially in the church for the brethren, okay? And just in general, I read something the other day. Something had happened to a Christian, okay? All of these comments that were coming through, and all of these people were like, God bless, we're praying for you. But then 2 seconds later, their comments were, press charges, full of, take them to court, sue them, press charges, send them to jail, rah, rah, rah. Just, so much harshness. And Jesus is full of mercy. He says to forgive your brother 70 times 7. And so when I read stuff like that, or I witness that, my mind automatically goes to, because of the lawlessness that will increase, the love of many will grow cold, okay? And I just see that happening everywhere. It's just happening everywhere. And it is so sad to see, because even right now, we all see what's going on in the body of Christ, and there's this brother coming against this sister coming against this sister, and we're tearing them down on social media, and we're throwing them under the bus, and we're never ever giving them another chance. And they could have even done something not even like what we've been seeing, with infidelity and abuse and all that, but anything else, and it's just like there's just no mercy given. There's like no love. And I don't know how you distinguish that from 70 times 7, okay? And so, and I don't, I'm probably going to take a little bit of heat for saying that, but it is what it is. If it, if it bothers you, maybe the shoe fits. So there's that. We've got to be able to forgive 70 times 7, even if it takes a minute, even if we got to do a little bit of healing, but to just lash out all the time, this has got to happen, and you're no good. And it's just that specifically reminds me of because of the increase of wickedness and lawlessness, the love of many will grow cold. And so we've got to watch that. We've definitely got to watch that as a body. And so, but anyway, I just wanted to bring some comfort, because Jesus prophetically spoke to what we would see when we're getting closer to his arrival on the scene, okay? And stuff does increase, and it does happen in this place, and that place, okay? We will have to go through some things. We are going to see some things. We're going to see the wars. Past history has taught that they've went through wars. We're not immune to that. We're not any more special than the generations that were before us, okay? And so we're going to see those things as well. But Jesus said to not be alarmed, because they have to happen. All these things prophetically have to happen for him to return. So I just wanted to give that out, that little word out that was given to me. I firmly believe if we are in the beginning of sorrows, if we have not already been for some time, that's just increasing and increasing and increasing, And the Bible and Daniel talks about how knowledge shall increase. And my goodness, knowledge has just, it has just took off, especially with AI and everything, So when we see all these things just, start to increase, we know, at some point Jesus is coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back for a glorious church without spot or wrinkle. And we'll see these things increase, okay? But we're not to be alarmed, because it has to happen. Okay. So I love you guys, and let's just keep worshiping the Lord and cling to the old rugged cross, and love and forgive, and do all the things necessary that we need to do. So talk to you later. Bye.